version.
Oh, thank you for doing that.
If you had called Sierra Steve, in the 10 years I was there, 8 of the years, you would hear my voice.
Well, I get to hear it every week. I don't need to
Yeah.
call CRST.
Well, I'm not there anymore because the vice president, he and I were traveling out to California for, we love our driver. Asking me, hey, vice president, he's doing okay, blah, blah, blah. He heard that. There was a pride issue there. So I came up.
Oh. So, I'll put you on speaker here. You ready?
Oh, what's this one?
Yes.
You just relax. You just don't get to be gone for 6 weeks and come back and start over.
I'm a certified Italian driver now. No action. Yeah.
How many roundabouts? And did you do this?
Quite a few. Quite a few roundabouts.
Hey, Jack.
It's this one here. Don't have the other one.
Yep, no things.
Anything important to these hamsters?
I bought. I don't know. Yeah, Dick's gonna find it. Okay. No mark today. No.
He's awful.
You listen to the video or something, or writing with them, or what?
David wants to know if you got the radio on or somebody with you. He can hear noises.
Are you singing to yourself or what? Oh.
Oh my God.
Michael, do not put that.
Hey, Jake took that.
How can I miss an opportunity like that? Did you ever know I was not present, but he was driving with nothing on?
Oh, man, that was good.
You hear that? It's gonna be in the newspaper that you had nothing on while you're driving remote. Jake Buchanan thinks he's filming over here.
We're not talking about music there, Mike.
You're okay. They were just joking. We weren't. Oh, must be sleeping in on her birthday. Okay.
It's 8:30. You didn't do your job.
Okay. Go ahead, stand for pledge of allegiance. How's that?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, go ahead and call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. Mark Dolan is virtual on the phone, and then we have everybody else present. First item is to approve the agenda.
So move.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let's go open public comments. Is there any public comments today on any topic?
Only to Bay Avenue. Comment made already today about it being really sloppy. However, last week it was just been dead. So, we do need to remind everybody that it's not our fault that people have to drive on that road. It's not your fault. And, Highway 63 got all tore up and is almost drivable anymore. If people don't slow down and actually drive 35 miles an hour on K Avenue, they're probably going to be extremely dangerous. They'll just suck you right in. Many people that I've spoken to are complaining that they've had to come to a complete stop so that the oncoming thing can go through because it's usually bigger. And that is true. There are semis and all sorts of huge equipment on that road. So just suck it up and slow down and move over and stop so you don't end up in the ditch, because you can bellyache all you want. You'll still be bellyaching down in the ditch. So there's nothing we can do about it. I I did this last year, Daryl and Cheryl and I did this last year, so we're kind of used to it already. And, doesn't really good to complain. Careful. Be careful. It'll be that way for a lot of months too. You can tell people it's gonna be that way. Thank you very much. With that,
You said it. Had a couple of topics, you only talked about one.
well, I'll tell you somebody else.
How it's on the agenda. Will we be allowed to?
I'd say, yeah, as board members.
Okay.
Yeah.
Following up?
I'll go for my second one in. Okay.
Yep.
We have got increased all the mold coming out of the holes that have 2 legs. We got increased that. And with the. I have. Lots of that. Need to let people know.
I asked Karen about that yesterday. Basically, people are stealing animals, ducks and stuff off of their property.
Yeah, but that's just a start.
That's just a start. But the issue is or
Trespassing, yes.
theft of their property. So people are.
So, you know, I know that the fellow across the road has had a lot of firewood stolen. So, then that would be easy for him.
Right in there.
So when I was he was speaking, Rebecca was speaking at the same time. He was like,
That's not good.
Been there at the same time.
What I'm hearing is like they couldn't hear Kern talking, Davidson's on the other one. They can't hear Kern.
They didn't hear much. They didn't.
Any other public comments? Close public comments. Next item is discuss and approve 4/20/2026 regular minutes and 4/24/26 special minutes.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Engineer room. Objective.
Yeah. I got it. Okay.
Rock Avenue from 63 to 310 to Fluoride. Working on H Avenue from 96 to E29. And maybe on LL Avenue for Fluoride as well. We've done just some bloody spots, stuff like that over the last week. They had a meeting with Windmill to see what we could get for rock off that.
Any other questions, topics?
So with this,
I don't think they don't apply it when it's.
They're just prepping. I think the one thing I can email them, but like the roads that come off of 63, that's gonna be getting a lot of traffic. Those are like actual like black mud, you know, so it's something else to be that rock back. So send them a note on that too, especially once it. I know just a lot of people are always curious, my area to the north side of it, they got grounded down just the little side, you know, pavement deal, but I mean, they grind it down deep, you know, so they're just kind of starting to do that now, and then they have like I said last week, the bulldozers kind of push those passing lanes on each side, so I know people are always like, there's nothing going on. There is to the north side, I would say it looks like they're starting there, and then I've seen, the wind company too, I've seen them back digging out the corners and stuff, like I could see one from my house they've been doing here this last week, so that'll be going on too.
What does that mean that they're digging out the corner?
Like they widened them and put all that extra rock, so then they gotta pull the rock out
Okay.
and reshape them back to their normal
Okay, thank you.
size, I guess, of what they were before, yeah.
Are we getting that rock?
That's what their meeting was for, I think, right, on the Friday?
Yeah.
We'll get an update next week, yeah.
Okay.
There's gotta be quite a bit, there's a lot of unwinding that needs to be done.
David, I switched over to the computer mic, but everybody's having problems hearing. Can we use the microphones?
Can we use this one you said?
No, the microphones, can
You
you?
want us to use the mic?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, it's on that there, so.
They can hear me okay though?
they said everything's really quiet.
Turn it on. You just hold the black triangle, right?
Yep, hold it down until it comes on.
Just take batteries.
What kind of batteries does it take?
What's that?
What kind of battery? You got, okay.
Okay. Next item. Wake up back there. Next item is, discussion possible action on purchase agreement and easement documents on purchasing additional right of way for Melody J. Davis Revocable Trust on I Avenue. Project number VRS D08612H J86 and authorize. The only thing I would say is since we're gone, vice chairwoman, and vice chair, let's just say.
I've probably got to mute himself.
You might have to mute yourself, Mark.
Hang on just a second.
We're gonna see if it was, okay, is it done, Nicole?
Okay.
Okay,
You're all right.
once we start using the microphones, it get noisier. Okay, so when you guys make the motion, it just would be vice chair to sign documents. So ultimately, it just looks like there's a bridge project, looks like Columbia Township, Kurt might know more down there, but it just looks like we need to purchase additional right of way, and so, that's what we're looking to do. It's 0.14 acres of right of way around that bridge project. If anybody's got anything else additional on that? And it looks like once we approve it, then we would sign and it would be good. At that point, it looks like everybody else has signed. Any questions or other thoughts on it? Otherwise, I'll look for a motion for me to be able to sign it.
Yeah, I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
How much an acre?
How much an acre? It was,
Total of $1,774, 54 cents.
yeah,
Total.
so
Seven what?
1,774
Oh.
and 64 cents.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next item, discussion possible action on the Iowa Scenic Byway. I know we had this come before us last year, it looks like it's come again. I know last year we did not move forward on it just because I guess we talked to John Hall, to our new economic development area, but I guess, yeah, do you got anything on it, Jake?
Yeah, so I met with Jeannie, who used to get $500 from Tama County Economics budget for hosting fees for the byway. So there's there's now an app alongside the phone. And so, you know, when she came to me, she told me, you know, pretty much every year we would just pay the $500. She's actually, there's gonna be a second one of these that's being built right now, and it's the Lincoln Highway Scenic Byway. So, but funnily enough, it actually hits the same spots in our county, but it's a lot longer. It goes through the state, where this one just goes through like the Iowa River Valley. What she's willing to do is if you guys are willing to pay the $500, she's asking other counties for 500 for the Lincoln Highway. Since we're in the transition time, she says if we pay just the 500, she would basically keep 250 for each one. And then next year she might ask for more money. But when she came to me, you know, how this relationship really works with me and you guys is, I want to say, is this worth it? And I'm trying to give you some information. So I asked for some analytics, and 2024, they had, I think it was 39 visits of the audio tour with 461 app visits. But then in 2025, they had 689 visits on the audio tour. So that's 689 people calling with 3,441 app visits. And so it seems to be a growing thing. And so if you think, how much are we spending per person? It's probably like less than 50 cents. But I would say, looking at the data, it's something that is growing, and then you guys can decide what, you know, if there's value or not. I mean, as far as the fact that like, we have all the signs up, a lot of the infrastructure's already there, so it's up to you if you want to spend your money, but she asked me to bring it ahead of you guys, because I think she was told, hey, let's wait till Jake gets on board, and then you can talk to him and he'll bring it to us. So I wanted to ask you guys what you guys thought and give you the information, basically.
Okay, any discussion from the board on that?
I think last year, were we not told that because it wasn't a 513C or some 513C, that they didn't recommend that we would pay anything to them?
I don't think I'm
I
that.
don't think this is a 501(c)(3).
Okay, it is, okay.
Yeah.
I think we were just worried last year about how many other things are there with economic development, because now we pay the Marshtown Chamber, so
Yeah.
if there's like a 500 here, 1,000 here, like 20,000, you know, like, what else is out there? I don't think we've heard of other things, right, that anybody's really come asking for. But we did talk about getting the contract in place if anyone wants outside money. I don't think we have that set up yet, I believe. I mean, I know we got an example, so we probably should at least get that set up where people can fill it out, and then we can decide what to do. But yeah, so the Marshland Chamber, you guys are recommending, it's a good thing, but yet obviously it's from the,
I think what we're saying is, here's the data.
okay,
This is how many people use it. I don't think in our organization, we feel comfortable telling
Okay.
the county what they should be doing.
right,
It's more of a fact of like, they came to us, here's the data. I mean, it is something that's grown quite considerably, that will be growing. So if you see the value in supporting the tourist side for $500, the data probably suggests there's some value there, but I don't think I don't think John would be comfortable with me making a
right.
solid recommendation of, yeah, pay it or don't pay it.
Okay.
I know that's a cheap answer, but I think it's the right one.
Everybody else think?
Hey, for you, why?
Well, I was just gonna ask him if he thought it was a good idea, because that shot me down.
I'm gonna talk loud because
Yeah.
I gotta replace the battery yet again. I don't necessarily have a problem supporting it, but I think we need that mechanism in place. If they're asking for it, we need a contract. Just so that our auditors Because I think our auditors brought that up, that before we give out any money, we need to have a contract. Yeah.
Yep, and so I'm willing to reach back out to her and just say, hey, I brought it to the board. This is what they're asking, you know, what does that look like? And then you guys can decide when you see what that is.
Okay, what's their timeline on this? Like, is there any timeline?
So, I mean, it's one of those, this is kind of like a good faith thing. It's not like that's gonna go away.
Okay.
Right? And I don't know, maybe she has some kind of documentation from the beginning that they said, hey, in good faith, we're gonna give you $500 a year. It didn't sound like it. But I don't think it's not like her whole department's or her whole program's gonna go away. But I think I could probably see you guys in another month. Is be a realistic thing and talk to her and see, and then if she doesn't wanna do the contract, then I'll present that.
Yep, yeah, find out she's okay with doing that, and then we need to come up with a request form, so everybody can submit that, and then they still would need to do a contract.
So who do you want to do? Do you want that to be Karen?
I know we had that example that Johnny gave, you
So
have
that was like
that
a
somewhere?
20, that was like a
Okay.
2080 agreement, and I can send that, cause I sent that to the 4-H people and
Okay,
Council on
I
Aging.
would think it would fall about the same in 4-H deal.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
so if we have that already, yeah,
I can send it to you.
Perfect.
okay, cool, just keep us updated, what she says, and we can bring it back then. Okay? Everybody good, no action on that item then? Okay, next is discussion possible action on Veteran Affairs quarterly report. Like $1,828.42 is the value, mostly flags. And the Xerox, like are the biggest things.
I'll make a motion to accept the quarterly report from the veterans.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion in a second. All in favor, say
Aye.
aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next is discussion possible action on Fox Ridge Winery annual liquor license. Like they do this yearly, I believe.
I'll make a motion, we accept the liquor license for Fox Ridge.
Second.
Okay, motion and second, discussion. All in favor, say
Aye.
aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next is discussion possible action on traveling tapster temporary liquor license.
Same situation, I guess, it's pretty,
I think it's a 5-day one.
yeah, temporary one. I'll make a motion, we accept liquor license, temporary liquor license.
Okay, motion and second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Discussion possible action on Lucky White wine slushies temporary liquor license. This looks to be just the 5-day as well, looks like a 5-day one as well.
I'll make a motion, we accept it.
Okay, motion,
I'll second it.
got a second, discussion? All in favor, say
Aye.
Aye.
opposed, motion carries. Next is discussion possible action on 28E agreement with Benton County.
So you can skip that, cause Brent Heron's supposed to be the one to come and discuss that, and he's not here yet.
Okay,
So if you wanna continue on the agenda, and hopefully he'll be here. Discuss that in a little bit.
okay. Sounds good.
Same with the flag,
Same with the next item,
those two are for Brent.
okay? So we will skip over the next two items until Brent Herron comes in. So the next one down, can we also do that next one? The
Yep,
discussion
that's what you can do.
possible action?
It was brought to our attention from Julie Scadden at the Tama County EMS Association. She's online, but she's not here to discuss it, but it's just a 2080 agreement with all the outside ambulance agencies that will do service here in Tama County.
I believe, so I attended that meeting on Thursday,
Mhm.
Electronically. And my suggestion was they give it to you, so do you have a hard copy?
Yes,
You got that, okay,
well, not with the original signatures, I just have the email that she sent to me.
right, so there came up one item where LeGrand annexed about, I think, 2 to 3 acres. So as you're driving along the highway heading towards Marshalltown, those big swimming pools, I mean reservoirs, LeGrand actually owns those. They annexed them from Tama County. So that did not get factored into it. They were chasing a 2080 agreement for that.
Okay.
But based on what all we did in that meeting, I think it'd be fine to we would sign the agreement, but we need to see with all the signatures,
Okay, should be in your packet. Should be,
with all the original signatures.
not the originals. No, I don't have original.
I thought they had to come to us. The originals had to come to us from your file. I believe that was the case.
Okay, is that what
I could
Julie
be
said in the
wrong.
meeting?
Uh,
Is that what Julie said in the meeting?
I don't recall that part.
Okay.
I just know that they needed all original signatures and they didn't have all of them.
Okay.
They didn't have the one for the grant.
I can probably get that from Julie, then I'll have her send it to me and then,
She don't like.
Karen, I don't have original signatures. They all signed them online and sent them to me. So I don't have like physical signatures. It was all done electronically.
So does the Secretary of State accept the online signatures versus wet signatures? If they do, then I'm fine with it.
The information I got was that it, just as long as they're signed, it didn't have to be like original handwritten signatures.
Okay, I do know that in many cases now, they accept the electronic signature versus a wet signature. So as long as they aren't requiring the wet signature, then I'm fine with it.
And when we talked about doing this, I remember several months ago, we were going to get all the signatures and then the Board of Supervisors was just going to sign one document. That way we weren't sending in multiple documents to the Secretary of State. That's what you guys requested.
I agree with that.
And as for LeGrand, we're not even sure yet exactly if they even respond to EMS into the Tama County yet. So if they even qualify for any of the essential service dollars, that was the other side, the piece that we need to investigate.
Could you state the last part of that again?
In talking with Jacob, we haven't even been able to tell if they respond to any calls into Tama County, even though they own that little piece, those few acres. We have no record that they've actually, since they annexed it, we have no record that they've actually responded to any ambulance or EMS calls into Tama County that would qualify them for essential service dollars.
So that begs the question then, if we approve the 2080 that's everybody signed it, with the exception of those 2 acres, can that be added at a later date if necessary, without having everybody to re-sign?
We can send in a separate 2080 agreement for them to the Secretary of State. Because I don't know how long it's going to take us to get that figured out for sure.
Jules, this is Jacob.
Okay, Jacob.
Hey, just letting you know, I did speak with the recorder's office. I do have the deeds for that here in my hand now. So, but nothing on it says anything about like response for EMS and law enforcement into Tama County, because I was told, and what was put in our system back in 2010 was that Marshall County entities all would respond to that couple acre plot, but I don't have anything that says that. But I do have the deeds here, at least in front of me, that say that LeGrand they did annex into our county. As for responses, they don't have any responses as we haven't had any medical calls out there. But the question that comes to mind, at least, is the service area, which it's not much, but it's still something. But it sounds to me like we could add them in at a later date once we hash out the specifics of them coming into the county or not for that small area.
So Jacob, this is David.
Yep.
I'm assuming that's a Toledo response then?
It's actually Montour with Toledo EMS to that spot, but yes,
Then right now, the money goes to Toledo until something changes, correct?
correct. Yeah, Toledo and Montour.
I'm fine with that.
But the reason I'm questioning it is because the other services that are only getting money for their service area are actually designated as responding into, if they do get called, they will respond into Tama County. But this one is designated Marshall County Services.
Correct.
And the impetus for getting this signed and sent to the Secretary of State is we've got people waiting to submit claims, which we need 28E in place so they can do that, correct?
Correct. And that was the other piece that we were going to request, or they've requested, is that now once the Board of Supervisors sign it and Karen can get it sent before it's actually posted to their, can they start submitting? Because there's only a month left of fiscal year 26 that they're able to submit for reimbursement.
And the other thing to keep in mind too is that LeGrand is just a first responder service. They're not an actual ambulance. So they would only get Julie, is it 60%?
And that's of service area only. Their calls aren't covered.
Correct. Okay. Yep.
Okay, so Karen, do you have the document here now?
I have what Julie sent me, yes.
Okay, then I will make a motion that we approve the 28E agreement for non-county EMS services.
Okay, was there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any discussion further than what we said? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is discussion, possible action regarding Tama County Public Health and Home Care.
I asked if this be put on the agenda. I voted, or I didn't vote last week because I didn't have paperwork in front of me that I could review. So for today's purposes, I want this to be discussion about possible action later on. So I'll just read what I typed up so we keep it clear and concise. In 2025, we challenged the Public Health Service to cut the administrative costs. The initial response did not address this. We cut their budget about $300,000. Almost immediately, they notified the auditor they could absorb the cut, still provide the same level of service, and give their employees pay raises. As we begin the budget process for fiscal year 2027, we again challenged Public Health to reduce their administrative costs. Public input outlining the subsidizing from the budget was used to impede local businesses from providing home health care because they could not compete. So this, I don't have documentation on this. This is what we would call hearsay. The public health team came back with options and the board of supervisors finally settled on a plan. It appears it was actually a poison pill solution, not intentional, but it became a poison pill solution. The current director was integral to our acceptance of the plan. However, within the week, the director accepted another job and their plan fell apart. Next, we are presented with a plan which I believe is untenable. Public Health Board and Public Health Team have decided to give up the ability to charge Medicare. This action would take 2 years to restore if it became a necessary transaction. The reason given is that it would make the 2 remaining nurses be excessively on call. The plan submitted indicates they would need $964,374.71 to operate and for administrative overhead. They said they would receive $549,375 in revenue. They're asking the county for $526,907, with all of that said, leaving only about $110,000 to work with. On top of that, they're increasing their pay by 3%. They're not listening to the board's direction, nor are they seriously looking to cut costs. As such, they have lost my trust and confidence. On Friday, I spoke with the Hardin County Supervisor, and he told me that they had pulled the sanitarian from under public health, and then for years, they've had 2 people in public health, and the home health care component is run and funded by Greenbelt Home Care. You can look them up online. It's greenbelthomecare.com, all lowercase, it's a private company. I've contacted the head of that, company on Friday. She and I did not have time to be able to talk at length, so we're talking today. We're not making progress with this issue, and we cannot keep wasting the taxpayers' money. And I don't really want to head up this challenge, because I've got the IT issues to deal with, but we need to have a better plan. And maybe our Marshalltown Chamber of Commerce can help us with this process. We need to look at what Hardin County is doing and see if that's something that we can do. They have 2 nurses, and the whole health home care is a private company. It's fully funded by them. I have provided the rest of the board and this copies, and I will give this to the folks sitting here from healthcare. So that is for discussion.
As far as, we voted last week.
Right, we voted last week, I know that, but
I mean,
we've already levied for it, and I know there's gonna be some pushback.
well, there shouldn't be anything. It's over. We voted yes on it.
We did, but it can still be changed.
I'm tired of changing it. I'm tired of dealing
I am
with it.
too, but-
So let's just
But
go
$1
on.
million. But this is another $1 million issue
500,000.
from us, but it's $1 million issue.
Okay.
They have not gotten the money they say they're gonna get in revenue. They have not consistently brought in the amount of money they said they would, and that would be us paying for it. Here's the thing. We've been dealing with this for over a year. I'm not gonna quibble about it. I think we need to do a better job. The only way we're going to reduce the taxpayers' money is to reduce the levies. We've already levied for it this year. I don't want to spend more money, and the only way we can fix it is to fix our part of it, is to reduce the levies. How do we do that? We quit spending money. So, I'm not mad, I sat in the parking lot and I spent a whole bunch of my vacation time running through my head about, hey, we've asked people to do stuff and they haven't done it. And the expectation that I have from when we ran for office, I'm running again because I want to see this fixed. So we can do nothing, or we can look into it and see if maybe this is another option that would provide the same level of service for less money coming out of the county's pockets. That's where I'm at. I'm not mad. I'm just frustrated that I don't believe we've gotten a straight answer. When Stacy presented that last one that we voted on, I was a happy camper. That went away, and I'm no longer a happy camper.
I don't see any action. I mean, we voted on it, so I would imagine it's the next year budget thing.
We don't have to take action on it now. We still have time before June 1st. Actually, July 1st, go back to the 30th of June is my last date. I can change something, or we can change something.
Right, so the budget has been submitted to the Department of Management. My understanding is if you want to decrease something, nothing's been appropriated yet for funds, so you could still change something. Is my understanding.
So like the levies are set, but we can still decide where that money goes. Yeah, because our other challenge is what's going on in the state too. You know, the House just approved the 2% limit, and that's on everything, supplemental, and which has never been capped, you know, which is gonna be very challenging. That's where your FICA health insurance, which is always going up, you know, unless you get rid of employees, there's no other way to make, you know, if it goes up by 3%, we can only do 2%. You know, we're gonna be faced with a lot of really hard challenges, but for this topic, I don't know, I think we need to probably have another budget session, maybe next week, like after the meeting, just to
Well,
dive in.
then we need to stop voting. This is the second or third time we voted to do something and now we're reneging on it. We either gotta stop doing that or move on. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. It was 4-1 last week to move on, and so why the hell are we talking about it now?
The reason we're talking about it is because I abstained because I wanted to.
That's fine, but it was 4-1, it's a board.
I
So
know.
it was 4 yes and 1 no, or abstain. So why are we talking about changing our mind again? We've changed our mind 16,000 times on this deal.
I understand it. Kurt, I'm
We
just saying.
start doing this with every dang thing that comes across our desk, nothing's ever gonna get done. Either we make our minds up before we make the vote, and everybody vote no, or quit changing our damn minds. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying it was a 4-1 vote. Why are we even talking about it at this point in time?
The reason we're talking about it is I'm sitting in a parking lot.
Well, it's not my fault you went on vacation.
I know, but my point being is I came back and I asked for the specifics. I've got the numbers here. I've got basically, everybody's getting their money and they're gonna have $1,907.29 to take care of the people. That's all they're gonna have. The rest of this is all their pay. And that's my problem. We're spending $800,000 in administrative costs, and we're providing $111,000, basically $112,000, I'm rounding it up, to take care of people. If there's a better way out there before we're locked forever for the next year, I think it's in our constituents' best interest that we look into it. If it's not, fine, we'll go with the 4-0. I'll even change my abstain and I'll vote for it. But right now, I think we have an obligation to our constituents. I mean, we spent an hour with, I can't remember the guy's name, that Stick Center talked about how much money we were spending on public health care.
Oh, Dan.
Dan. So we spent an hour listening to our public, and the plan that we had prior to last week, I was okay with. I'm just not okay with the current plan. So I think we should look into it, and if it comes to naught, I'm fine, we move on. I agree with you. But I still think while there's a little bit of life left in cutting funds, I think we should look into it. I'll report back to the board next week, because I'm talking to the lady today.
What was the full amount we're levying between supplemental and basic? Has anybody got those
I don't have that right off the top of my head.
figured?
Are we talking about what I got from you guys last week? Is that what you're asking?
I just want to know, like, what are we levying? It was 1.9 million. What is the total for supplemental and general basic that we're levying?
I have to look it up. I don't have it off the top of my head.
So the ask, that you're talking about the ask that they asked us,
Yeah,
$526,907.
But that's not what was levied.
Right. The whole budget's levied.
Right.
And it wasn't that figure either. It was the previous is what you guys had approved. The one was.
Correct, because there's no
before
way
Stacy
to
and
get that
Lisa.
into the budget. That's correct.
Yeah.
The bigger budget.
$1 million.
Correct. That was what was
1.2.
turned into the state.
It was 1.2, now it's down to 1.
okay. So the gap is around that 400-some thousand revenue, right? That's what we're looking at.
The proposed revenue is $549,375, over $500,000.
Okay.
I just think we need another look, and if I'm wrong, I'll tell you next week.
Okay. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of like Kurt that I'm tired of talking about it, but I also want to make sure we need to talk about it, because that's what our job is for taxpayers, is to look at it, because what the state's doing is gonna be, it's gonna be bad. If we don't do it this year, it's probably gonna have to be next year, and I'm not just talking about this situation, but other
It's just
ones.
ridiculous that this is the second time we voted something and we're changing our minds on a vote. So it's gotta be hard for the nurses. And I mean, I'm not saying it's our fault, whose fault it is, but the nurses don't know what the hell's going on in their lives. The people don't know what they're going on in their lives because we vote yes and then we change our mind. And it's not the first time we've done it. And it just doesn't make sense.
No, you're
We
fine.
can hear you, go ahead, Mark.
And my intention today was not for us to make a decision, but to bring to light that there are other options still out there that would save the county a lot of money. So I will ask the lady in charge of Greenbelt. And I will get back and I'll report back to the board soon as I can.
Well, thank you, David, on that. You go, Mark, you gonna talk again? Yeah, I think we need to figure out, like, I know the Senate version of the property tax accounted for more inflation, which would make more, more sense for a county. That's where, like I said, I know everybody's tired of talking about budget stuff, but I feel like as a whole, not just home health, we probably need to meet again here in the next couple of weeks after meeting, just because we need to figure out, or do we still have time up until that June date? Maybe it doesn't need to be 2 weeks, but try to figure out what the state ends up doing, because we can't have our EMA not funded, so, well, it's kind of a side topic, but it's related to, we gotta figure out what's required, where's our money have to go.
Right.
I don't like changing decisions either. I think it's good to be able to care for people that can't get private care. But, I mean, we gotta be able to afford it. We're still trying to dig out of the hole we came into, and we're doing really good. But sometimes we're doing so good that then that can end up hurting you with what the state does. So it's just, you try to come in and you try to save money and drop any fund balances. And then it turns around and it locks you into not being able to raise it enough to give them their full fund back the next year, so. The board got any thoughts on it?
Where do I start?
I know,
Basically, I agree with David as far as, what we passed, 3-4 weeks ago.
Can we give him a mic?
At that time.
Yeah, better use the microphone, so.
Yeah, so they can hear you.
It's a job on my side, guys.
I'll start over. Basically, I agree with David, what we passed a month ago or so, I thought was a good idea. But at that time, I felt Stacy being in place, we should give her another year to see how things work out. When she decided to move on, and that's her decision, I don't have any opinion one way or the other on that. We, as a board, sat and listened to the nurses that were still in place. We lost a number of good employees simply because of the unsettled times, what you as a board were doing. You as a board came to us and said, you wanted us to take care of 3 groups of people, the VA, the Indians, and the sliding fee, the people that didn't have insurance. And after the board listened to the nurses that were left, who basically informed us that 2 people cannot be on call 24/7. Year round. I mean, that's just too much for 2 people. That's where we came from the last week when we came to you. Basically providing the services you guys asked us to provide. And this is the best way we can do it. I believe, I believe Kurt is right. It's time to let this issue drop for this year. And 6 months from now, October, November, start looking at it, see where we need to go from there. I know we have a board meeting tomorrow. We got some tough decisions to make. But as far as you as a board, you voted last week. It's time to take care of this issue and wait. I mean, basically what you levy, I know you can go back and change that. But you're gonna have extra money in the account from what we asked at this last week. So as a new board member, I got thrown into quite a mix here. And looking at it, I believe we've thrown the best option at you for right now. But
I also believe come the end of this year, we need to do some strong looking at how we handle things. So that's just my opinion. I may not be the one, I'm just one board member. So you guys want to hear from somebody else? Stacy?
You guys hear me okay?
Talk a little louder.
You guys hear me okay? Can you hear me now? Crazy. Greenbelt Home Care, I believe, is funded by county and city. She was at a regional meeting and had said that, so, I'm like 99% sure that was them. So when you're looking into that, please ask how they're funded.
Absolutely.
Just because they're unique to Iowa, they're the only one in Iowa that is funded that way. And then that would also be asking Toledo or Tama. I mean, since we're in Toledo, you'd be asking Toledo then to help fund the home health side. So, I just wanted to say that part. The other thing I'm just gonna pass on what I've been told by the employees. And with this back and forth and the uncertainty is why you guys have lost as many employees in the public health, home health side as you have. It is also caused a lot of mental anguish and uncertainty. This is their livelihood that you guys are talking about, their families they have to take care of. I just would like you guys to, I know it's a money scheme, but please keep that in mind too, because you're losing employees left and right. You're causing a lot of mental anguish and they're going elsewhere. Myself included. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I mean, I could probably go on and on and on, but a lot of it is based on the back and forth. Do you think they have a solution? And then 2 days later, no, just kidding. It just is too much for a lot of people to handle. So I just ask that you consider that when you are making decisions on possibly changing this again. This is a solid plan that they have going forward. I 100% back it. And would be more than happy to stay on to consult as needed as well. So just maybe peace of mind there for you, David, with that. But this is also something I've done with private duty nursing and home health services in the past, so I'm pretty familiar with it as well. Okay. Anybody else?
Thank you.
One thing with Stacy was speaking, I'm trying to think if I talked to Lance with Hart, is that who you talked to?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm trying to remember, is that the one, I think they did like a bond, but then they used a county bond, but then the company pays on that bond, so I think they used, like, they had to have a vote because you have to put on the ballot and vote on it, but I think that Greenbelt, like, agreed, or whoever initially, to come in and they paid the bond back to the county. So I mean, that's another option too, it's a way that you could do it, but I think that's maybe that tie. I don't think the county used their bond and it just flows in and out of them or something, but I do think
It's different.
it's different, yeah, how they did it, which I think they did it, was it 15 years ago, or maybe it's been more.
30
Yeah.
years.
It's been quite a while, yeah. No, the topic, it's hard because, like you said, I think it was aggressive, we're like, okay, we're gonna just have public health. But I think the reason is we've been trying to say, okay, but could we do a little more? So I think that's where the back and forth, it's not just that we, are trying to just play with lives, we're trying to figure out like, okay, taxpayers is who we're supposed to report to, but we also have employees, we have people that get taken care of, so it's a lot of conflicting things, so we've been trying to like sway and, okay, we're at this low limit, okay, we're gonna give a little bit more, you can bring in more, okay, we're gonna do, less and still care for the people that can't get private care, I would say that's, and I understand it's been hard for employees. We've been trying to make it work. Like I said, if we had endless money, that'd be great, but none of us want our taxes to go up, so, we're just trying to be good stewards of the money, but also take care of our people, which is it's very hard to do with what we came into, so. Any other discussion, or do we want to just bring it back then?
I think Dave's gonna talk to them.
Yeah, check on how they got started,
I,
and
I wanna get more facts, like I said, this was dumped on me on Friday. And, it sounds good, but I'm a facts person. It may sound good, but isn't, so I wanna get the facts, I'll bring it back on Monday, next week.
Okay.
I think that their plan sounds similar to ours, though. We're not gonna be doing the Medicare home care, but other companies will, but we're not gonna be paying for them or responsible for them. So we're doing the same thing with the plan. We're not managing it. I can't see that much difference. Is it just there's a lot cheaper to run their organization there? Like the county, does it cost, how much do they charge, how much does it cost them to run it?
What I was told is the county pays for the 2 nurses in public health. That's it.
So they're not doing any home care.
They're not paying for anything else. That's all handled by Greenville.
They don't have any of the services like we do where we go to their house and give them a bath. They just clean their house or
No, it's, if you go to their webpage, it lists all the stuff that Greenville does.
they have to pay for all
It,
of it.
it lists all the stuff that the 2 nurses do. They're teaching CPR, they're talking about AED, they're giving shots, they're giving out other things. There's a long list, just, that's why I want it in the minutes, so it shows up on the website, our website, so you can actually click on it and see all the services they provide. So, and I will, like I said, I'm gonna talk to the lady that's running it, and I'll get back to you.
Does the hospital supplement them at all?
Beg your pardon?
Does the hospital supplement them at all?
Well, I understand, no, but I will find out. I'll find out all those things.
okay, anything else? On that topic? Okay, going to discussion of approved claims.
We have claims in the amount of $945,534.17. So that's 945, comma, 534, period, 17. And this includes a lot of paybacks for bonds and so forth. So that's why the number is so high. This is something we do every year. E911 bond and interest and principal payments.
Really for the, Vienna TIF fund, right?
Yes.
And it was at least, what, 800,000 of the 945 was for those. Okay, is that a motion?
Yes, I make a motion to approve that.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
We've got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. New business discussion.
You wanna go to Brent?
Oh, yes. Yep. All right, Brent, you're up with your couple items here.
We can wait. Go ahead with whatever you guys.
Okay, I only got one more thing in public comment, so.
Thank you.
Any supervisor reports?
Yes, I attended the juvenile detention facility meeting, and fortunately, Sheriff, pay attention. We have no juveniles there. We haven't had for quite some time, so whatever we're doing well. I'm also on one of their committees where we review things and then bring it before the rest of the association. And we've got a meeting coming up. It's the 3rd Wednesday of every month. But no, I think Tama right now, we're doing very well having no one in that facility. So it costs $150 a day. We're one of the original members. So it's $150 a day that we have somebody in there. We're looking to raise that potentially to $160. Other than that, I have nothing else.
Okay, anybody else have anything? Okay, I have a DCAP meeting this afternoon, so I'll have an update on that. David, the only thing I had for you, we approved that system for IT for like help desk kind of stuff. Is that go live yet? Or is
It should have.
Can you send that link to everybody if they're having issues with something to where?
You're talking about the ticketing item.
Yeah,
Okay, I will have.
whenever it's ready and live, like, have them just send it out that way, as people get concerns, they know how to do that.
So it's called Ninja One, and it runs in the background. It's being tested on many computers right now. Not all of them been enrolled. Once they're all enrolled, then we'll roll out the ticketing. I'll get a report to them and have them roll everything out.
Thank you. Okay, Brent, let's go to your 2 items, because then public comments is all that's left, in case anybody has questions on what you guys bring up.
Hopefully I'm keeping this all straight.
But use the microphone. So
Okay. Thank you. You're chairing today?
Sorry.
This is a 2080 agreement with Benton County for recovering the cost of collecting debts such as fines, restitution, what have you. Basically, the deal is Benton County does all the work, we get half the money, which is a pretty sweet deal. Now, I don't know if you want to do it today or later. It's kind of a 3-year renewal situation. I just need, I think, 3 signed copies to make sure that Karen has a copy. Just for herself, I've got to have a copy to send back to Benton County so that their supervisors can sign off and I guess just to keep a copy for records.
So in short, Benton County does all the work and we get half the money.
Correct. That's the way I characterize it. I'm sure they say that we let them do all the work and let them have half the money. I don't know. But and the other is a little bit more of a maybe a happy thing. And it's on behalf of the Iowa State Bar Association. Geneva and I are going to be giving you guys a 250th U.S. anniversary of the 4th of July flag that I don't know. I'm not sure, but the more I think about it, there's probably going to be all kinds of entities giving you guys flags that maybe like the Capitol, right? Don't they do that work? This flag was flown one day over the Capitol and
We got plenty of room.
there we go. I don't know if it's inside or outside.
Yeah.
And Rick, just so you know, they don't flag the whole day. They run it up the flagpole, bring it back down, because they do about 150 of them at a time.
But this is just the certificate. And maybe short one.
Nope, I have 2.
There we go.
You go here. We're done with.
This is the color copy. We should give this to the chairman.
I get that one.
Oh, we got 2.
And if you are chair, here's a certificate. Geneva has the flag. You can either save it, it's like a birthday. You can either unwrap it now or. Actually, we're supposed to do this on May 1st, but neither one of us could be
Yep.
here. Not May 1st, May 4th. Turned out we couldn't be here, so we're kind of jumping in. We're probably the first county and maybe the state of Iowa getting their flags, because it was supposed to be something.
We've got the longest serving attorney too.
There we go. Here we are.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What do we got?
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Okay. So, on the discussion possible action on a 2080 agreement with Benton County, I guess any discussion or motions?
I'll make a motion that we approve the 28E agreement with Benton County. That's all it says.
Okay. Got a motion?
Yes.
I'll second.
All right, motion and a second, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. All right, well, thank you guys on the flag,
Yes.
we appreciate it a lot, and we'll find a spot for it, so. Okay.
I assume when it's all done, we give the historical society or somebody is, here's the flag we were flying. You guys are keeping track, I think we're calling it a semi-quincentennial. That's half of 500 years.
Okay. All right. Let's go into open up public comments. Any public comments?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Going back to, K Avenue, I'm asking this for someone else. Are there more signs that are gonna go up to post that as a 35 mph?
Yeah, it should be at about, I think at every almost kind of intersection, there should be, I think, by tomorrow, they should be out, all of them.
Like, they only should be adding two because
Only two?
they didn't take the 35-mile-an-hour zone.
Oh.
Down from.
Previous, I noticed there was some up when I drove this morning,
So
okay.
they should only be putting two up, but I'll double check.
Okay, and then don't put a where we mow grass, Casey. We hate to blow around things. Dust control, how's that gonna, what's the final verdict on dust control for K Avenue? Besides rain?
It should be coming, they are getting the road ready.
Whole road or just?
It'll be intersections and, in front of houses on K Avenue, but we don't have a set date, but they're getting it prepped and then they'll let the DOT know and then they get dust control done, so. And if people already paid for dust control that live on K Avenue, they'll just have to go through the DOT or the company they already purchased through if they're, to find out how to get reimbursed and such. Since it's not the county.
Okay, so this is not my question, this is somebody else's. So why are they just not gonna do the whole road because of there's so many residents and intersections on that road? I mean, what's the deal?
It sounds like talking to our engineer, Nick, they've already gone above and beyond to do, I mean, it's a huge stretch to do every single house and intersection. He said they've given us a lot, because again, it's a full DOT project, it's not county related, but what they're planning to do, I guess, is above and beyond what our Iowa County shared guy said that typically the DOT would do. Like when they did Highway 8, it was not such a long stretch, So yeah, that's my understanding, but I don't know from previous.
It's way too much money.
There's a lot of residents on that road. I mean,
Well, then it should cover a lot of road, or, the more.
that is correct. Yeah, that's why I'm asking
Yeah.
a question for this fellow. Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be brought up again, I'm sure.
Yeah, at least it's getting done, one, hopefully sooner or later.
It's temporary,
Let's see.
it's temporary, it'll be done in a minute, something. Just pray nothing bad happens. Keep praying.
So many things to pray for, Kurt. Like, you're at the top of the list.
Thank you.
David is second
Thank you.
and Art is third.
Mm.
Casey, he's way at the bottom.
All right, anybody else?
Where is the juvenile detention center?
Eldora.
Oh, okay.
I have a question regarding K Avenue.
Yeah, go ahead.
So they put gravel down north of the landfill, but the gravel was off the road after 3 days. How are they going to maintain that? I didn't hear the beginning of the meeting because it was quiet, so I don't know if it was addressed.
Yeah, I guess that's something we'll just have to take back to them, so, I know they were cleaning them up and putting gravel down, but I guess we'll have to let them know if it's coming right back off, and then, yeah, I don't know how that works with dust control, I guess, but.
But dust control is different. Dust control, they'll put class A on it and they will not maintain it after it's down. Once the summer, once it ended the summer. And
Yeah, because, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Last year I got dust control and we didn't have that much traffic, so it lasted longer, but I was even mowing my yard yesterday and within 10 minutes, I had like 16 vehicles plus semis come, and then I noticed that the gravel was gone. And then south of 270th, they just put that on, I think maybe the middle of last week, and it's about gone too.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of out of our hands. It's lack of quality rock is one of the biggest parts, and they put too much lime in it, as far as I'm concerned. But that's nothing we can control. They have their own state, the DOT has their own state formula for that. That's an endless battle. I just seen on our claims that we spent almost $50,000 in a week on gravel, so. Yeah, I don't have any good answers for you.
Do you know the
Okay.
chemical makeup of the dust control? While we're talking about this, you said Class A, what is,
Class A is the rock.
okay, so
It's a finer rock.
you don't know what kind of chemical they're putting on the
And it's
road?
fluoride.
They could,
Or it's the tree sap stuff, like there's two
Yeah,
different versions,
just-
but I would assume they'll be the chloride.
Yeah, they're-
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you had, Kurt had sampled with different cleaner rocks in the past, and I mean, what was kind of your findings with that? I mean, obviously, it's not like this where it's a high traveled gravel road, but.
It's going to seem to last quite a bit longer, but there's a lot of complaining at the beginning because it was rougher, but.
And more expensive
Yeah.
up there, right?
I don't live in the country, so it's easy for me to say slow down and.
but you're gonna be
you know,
driving on it now.
Yeah, so, you're just not gonna make everybody happy, anybody happy anymore. It's our society, unless likes to complain, so. It's tough. Until they find a better solution for what we put on the roads. And there's a lot of things, the farm equipment's 10 times
We're
bigger than it
talking
used to
huge, I know.
be. There's a lot more weight on it.
Yep.
It's just. In a perfect world, they'd be paved. But it's.
We can talk about that perfect world after the meeting.
Yeah, it's tough. We talk about it year in and year out. It's not.
Well, the question about the rock going into the ditch was a very good question. Very good question.
Or they put it in a ridge so they have something to work with when they bring it back across the road. And that shouldn't be going in the ditch, it should be going in the edge, so.
I would assume it's due to all the traffic.
Yeah.
That's.
The amount of traffic and the heavy.
Yeah.
Semis.
Like I said, it's temporary, just try to keep telling yourself it's temporary, this summer, and just hope everything goes smooth. And then the traffic will go away once 63 opens again. Pardon our progress, I guess, is what the people say in big road projects, but.
It's really gonna be harder on the people that have never had to do this before than it is on us, on the ones that have did it all last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's gonna be an ongoing topic, because it is dangerous. So, very.
They do have a highway hard surface detours. People don't have to take the shorter gravel, but can't stop them.
There are folks that are lost out there wanting to know how they can get north without going on rock. Get out your road map, people, get out your road map.
Go to 21, the signs are there.
I know, get out your road map.
That's good.
Right, go ahead, Richard.
Good question. Concerning the Board of Health. We spent, or there was close to what, 1.9 million last year? And we're
That's what
asking,
we projected,
That's
that's what
what
we
we
asked for.
projected,
To
okay,
begin with.
and we're asking for what, 550,000 this year,
1.1 for the whole budget.
1.1. So. We've got a huge reduction already. And I'm gonna say it again, I believe we need to see what this year does. Work on this a little sooner, so we don't, I don't wanna lose any more nurses. And if you're saying we're gonna look at it every week, till everybody's satisfied, we're gonna lose more. I mean, we lost Stacy. That hurt. So. I hated, I came in here and argued to leave everything the way it was. And, you were tickled. And when I heard Stacy was leaving, the nurses were going. Yeah. It hurts the people we serve. So I say, my opinion is, let's see how it goes this year. Look at it sooner. Do a lot of talking, so. That's just my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? All right, let's close public comments. Believe we got to everything. Look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
David, are you leaving to go on any more vacations for it?